Hello, Fantastic Beast fans! We discovered at the end of Crimes of Grindelwald that the vial Grindelwald carries is indeed a blood pact between him and Dumbledore. But is it possible that the golden substance inside the vial also reveals something important about Credence? I'm Susan Chappell with Fantastic Secrets Behind Fantastic Beasts to bring you the clues. Join me and other Fantastic Beast fans here on the Beast Chaser Forum as we uncover the secrets, discover what's coming first, and play along with Rowling's newest game. And make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification so you'll be notified when videos post and won't miss out on the next clues. 2 videos ago, I shared with you a theory about the nature of what, not who, Credence truly is. Bestiary and I theorized that Credence is basically a love child of young Albus and Gellert, created by them alchemically. Symbolically, if not in reality, he's a homunculus, a lab-created little person who is considered alchemically the equivalent of the Philosopher's Stone. See that video linked above for all the details. I've also linked to author Lorrie Kim's blog, where she's been exploring these questions in several excellent articles. See the description below. Since my original video posted, I found more evidence of Credence's unusual creation. In the scene in the amphitheater, when Credence is turning to join Grindelwald, Nagini tries to hold him back. She tells Credence, he knows what you were born, not who you are. What you were born. This is parallel to another catch by @Masterpiece on Twitter, who quoted Queenie from the screenplay when she says to Grindelwald, I know what you are. What here not only points to the unusual nature of Credence's birth, but also the biological link between Grindelwald and Credence. Grindelwald often reacts to Credence as a father. We mentioned the 3 times he called Credence my boy in the prior video. But there's also Grindelwald telling Credence that he wants for him everything I never had. Then, at the end, when Credence joins him inside the Ring of Fire, Grindelwald embraces him like a prodigal son. The biblical reference to the prodigal son is very telling. Not only does it hint at their father-son relationship, but the fact that Credence was lost and has now returned. Then we come to the vial. I said before that I believe Grindelwald's vial might be a symbol of a magical marriage between Albus and Gellert, and in studying the script, I found another clue to support this. At the end, when Newt confronts Dumbledore with it, the vial blood trough hangs in the air between them. Blood trough is very crucial wording. A troth is a pledge of fidelity. Not only that, it's the source of the word betrothal. Queenie wears an engagement ring throughout the film. As I stated before, I believe Queenie and Jacob's story is a contemporary parallel for Albus and Gellert's historical one. Albus and Gellert had pledged themselves to each other in a magical marriage. I plight thee my troth are vows from the traditional wedding ritual, and out of this marriage was born their child. Thus, this vial, this magical blood trough that hangs in the air between Newt and Dumbledore as if it has a life of its own, is not only a symbol of young Albus and Gellert's love, their vows to one another, but also of the child they share between them. To support this link of the vial to Credence, I want to go back to the first appearance of it at the beginning of the film. As Abernathy holds the vial in the Thestral scene, it is described as some glowing gold substance in the palm of his hand. Later, during the escape, Abernathy catches the vial in his mouth, a reminder of how Harry caught the snitch in his first Quidditch match. Harry's golden snitch later revealed a key secret. It held the resurrection stone and opened at the time of his greatest need. Of the 3 Hallows, I find it interesting that Grindelwald's vial would be linked to the resurrection stone, for the vial not only holds blood, it contains life, golden life. At the end of the film, we're told Credence's true name is Aurelius. Aurelius means golden one. Is it possible that the glowing gold substance contained in the vial is the essence or spirit of Credence? We see another hint of the life inside the vial in the Mirror of Erised scene. From their bloody palms rise 2 glowing drops of blood, which mingle and merge to create one.
A metal shape begins to form around the droplet, becoming more defined and intricate. It is Grindelwald's vial. The 2 drops of glowing blood mingle and merge to create one, like the creation of a child. The metal locket forms around the unified droplet of blood, like giving a body to house the soul. Note, too, that there is only one vial. It's not a contract where each gets their own copy. The life of the vial is one, and somehow Grindelwald ended up with it. Grindelwald has been carrying a visible image of the family he shares with Albus, wearing it over his heart, while Albus carries the longing internally, as reflected in the mirror of Erised. His desire? To see his family reunited, to realize the full promise of the love they once shared. When Grindelwald asked Quirrell, who represents the greatest threat to our cause, perhaps we should understand the answer in a new way. Perhaps it's not just Dumbledore's magical power, as we are led to believe, but rather his influence over Grindelwald's heart. Albus is the only person alive who could persuade Gellert to alter his course. Until now. For now, Grindelwald plans to use Credence like many divorced couples do their children. He will use his child to punish his ex. Will he succeed? And how? To understand the nature and power of the vial related to the homunculus, I think Goethe's Faust is an important read. I'm resisting the urge to tell you everything about Faust and how it links up to Crimes of Grindelwald, so you won't feel like you're in school. But the connections are many. For now, I'll just share the biggie. Faust is a story of redemption and reconciliation based on alchemy. Faust makes a bargain with the devil, Mephistopheles, and in doing so plunges himself into the depths of human sin. But through the journey he takes with Mephistopheles, he discovers a deep secret regarding the nature and unification of the physical body with the spiritual soul, and is thus redeemed after death. In part 2 of the play, this separation of the soul from the body is represented by the homunculus. Created in the lab by Faust's alchemy assistant, the homunculus is never given a name, perhaps because of the universal nature he represents. As soon as he is created, he desires to leave his creator, to seek his own spiritual journey, his own meaning. Let me walk beside you, please. I myself desire to be. But when he sets out to experience the world, he does so from a limited environment. As he is only half born, he has no true physical form. He is more mind or spirit. Thus he cannot leave his glass vial. He travels about in his alembic, whose flame shines with his power. I believe Rowling is showing something similar with Credence. As host to the Obscurus, Credence is like the alembic, carrying the fiery spirit of the Obscurus inside him. In Crimes of Grindelwald, we even saw more of its fiery nature. Grindelwald's vial, however, even more so seems to represent the glass alembic containing the spirit of the homunculus, of Credence. It even glows like the alembic in Faust, which may indicate that the blood troth not only affects Albus and Gellert, but Credence as well. If so, does it mean that if Dumbledore destroys the vial, he will also kill Credence? In Faust, it is only when Homunculus separates from the demon Mephistopheles and meets with Thales, a wise philosopher, that he truly learns what he needs to break free and become fully himself. Homunculus finds and unites with Galatea, a sea nymph. She is of water. He is born of fire. Alchemically speaking, they are opposites, and their union in the presence of air and earth represents the uniting of the elements. When Homunculus's alembic breaks and his fiery being flows into the water, although he has died to himself, he has symbolically been reborn into a higher form, the harmony of quintessence. So what could this mean for Credence? I believe that for Dumbledore to break the vial, Credence must first be saved, which means he needs to find his alchemical other, or opposite. I also believe Rowling gave us a key clue as to who this would be through Dumbledore, who without Hermione present is her favorite spokesperson. If Credence has a real brother or sister out there who can take its place, he might yet be saved. But Credence's sister is dead, and Leta was never truly his sister anyway, right? Possibly. But possibly there is another. Crimes of Grindelwald speaks to the nature of brothers and sisters, from the Goldsteins to the Scamanders, to Leda and Yusuf. Even Grindelwald addresses his supporters as his brothers and sisters. I have a feeling Rowling does not intend to limit this important relationship to merely the biological. The important element is love. Off the top of my head, I could guess at 2 possible loving sisters for Credence, Nagini or Modesty. As I've said before, I think we'll see Modesty again, that her love and protection of her older brother will be critical in his redemption. But Nagini has loved him powerfully as well, and some snakes are born of water. I imagine there will come a moment near the end of the film where Newt, along with either Modesty or Nagini, helps Credence free himself of the Obscurus. Dumbledore will then smash the vial and confront Grindelwald, but perhaps in that final duel there will be a hint that Grindelwald, unlike Voldemort, is capable of remorse, and thus redemption, because of Aurelius, who now comes to both their aid in his promised golden form as Fawkes. There's a beautiful quote in Faust that I won't share with you. After watching the homunculus leave his heartbroken creator father to search his own adventure, the demon reflects, "In the end, we're dependent on the creatures we've created." Creatures we've created fits beautifully within Rowling's world, especially in Crimes of Grindelwald. There's Newt's case full of magical creatures. There are the hidden monsters which torment both Leda and Dumbledore. And then there's the creation that is Credence. I believe in the series to come, we'll see just how dependent both Albus and Gellert are on this creature they've created. But for now, as we end FB2 and approach FB3, Credence is still on his quest to be, one that is being manipulated by one of his makers to suit his own goals. Grindelwald knows what Credence was born and seeks to use that to his purpose, because Gellert is totally dependent on the creature he has created to either persuade Albus to join him or die. But Credence's quest to discover who he is will most likely put him at cross purposes with both his fathers. For me, Rowling seems to be exploring again the nature of family quite intimately through that vial. And this relationship between Albus, Gellert, and Aurelius, I think, will get at the heart of both the loving power and sometimes abusive nature of what family can be. With the vial, all 3 are bound in an unbreakable bond that to hurt one link is to hurt all. So what do you think? Is Credence somehow tied up in the magical power of that vow? And do you think he'll find a lost brother or sister? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Also, please check out my new fan shop on Amazon for books and Funko Pops and wands and all things Fantastic Beasts.